It's that time of the year again. 2025 is quickly approaching on top of us all, and part of this video is being recorded, of course, before the actual Game Awards event hosted by Jeff Keighley. There'll be a little bit of whiplash between the sets. I'm going to record a little bit before the Game Awards. I'm going to record my actual votes to show you guys live, and then this video will probably be coming to you just before the end of the year, but probably after Christmas, because I'm going to put my thoughts and opinions in the third part of the video, as well as needing to take the time to do editing and give my proper thoughts on the show, what was given to us guys, and overall what my opinion are in terms of the votes, which we all know will be very controversial, as it is every single year. But before I get into the meat and bones of this video, I want to take this time to thank you all for all the support you've shown me on Crimson Purgatory for this year. I know that I haven't exactly outputted the amount of videos that some of you guys would have expected, but honestly, the videos that have been put out have had so much support and have done so well, and I cannot thank you guys enough for tuning in and checking out the videos, even though I have been slacking in terms of giving you guys more content. 2025 is the year that I really hope to kick this channel off with a bang. We'll be having live streams, more videos, and just you guys will get to know me, Crimson Purgatory, a little bit better than you have this year. And hopefully the community will continue to grow, and this time next year, who knows where the skies will be for us. Once again, thank you all very much, and let me take this chance to wish you, your family and loved ones a happy Christmas and a very happy new year for 2025. I hope that it is prosperous and joyful for each and every one of you. Now, with that being said, let's get to the main event of what we're looking to talk about, the Game Awards, hosted by Jeff Keighley. Now, the Game Awards is very prone to controversy, as all of you will know. A lot of people don't take these things very seriously and mostly tune in to see all the kind of trailers and game reveals that happen every single year at the awards show. Yes, there are those out there who are die-hard fans of gaming and really want to go in there to support the Game Awards and to support their favorite games, producers, and overall consoles in some terms of fanboys. But unfortunately, this Game Awards show does not really do things the right way, at least in my opinion. A lot of the time is spent between people debating what will win and what won't win, and all of us take time to do votes every single year. But the sad truth is, our voice means little to none in terms of the overall narrative and the overall outcome of the votes. It's been confirmed that exactly 5% of the overall decision towards what wins each vote is only by our voices. We all only account for 5%. That is abysmal and an absolute disgrace. I'm showing no hate to Jeff Keighley, because he is a gamer at heart and he loves video games, but the way he's doing this award show is absolutely wrong. We should have more say. Yes, there's an argument to be said that if you allowed the gamers to have their full opinion, then it's going to turn into a console war. PlayStation versus Xbox versus PC versus Nintendo. And there is a very good argument to be made on that front. But that's where you could potentially take things and just split it. It doesn't need to be 100% our opinion. You could take things to be 50% to do with the overall public and their views, and then 50% to do with who they already go out to. They go out to all of the game journalists, the reviewers like IGN. They've even started to bring in some people from YouTube, like actual spokespeople, gamers themselves who are putting their opinion on the line. If you split that down the line 50-50, you would first of all bring a lot more respect to your show, because us gamers out there would actually feel like our voice is being heard. Yes, there's always the Player Choice Award, one of usually about between 25 and 30 awards that actually is fully our say. But who cares about that? It's like, it's their way of like sating us. But really, we should say what we think is the indie game of the year. We should say what we think is what the best RPG of the year, or action game, or adventure game, insert genre here. And most importantly, we should have a say on what we truly think is the game of the year, not just completely putting it down to the reviewers out there who are going to be very, very impartial to their opinion of saying what they think, in terms of their reviews, who's already won. Honestly, this year, as much as I don't agree with who's going to be in there, I'd say games like Astrobot are probably going to win this just because of the reviews they got. Does it deserve it? Probably not. Is it a great game? I don't know, I haven't played it, but based off of the free game that we got before, an absolutely gem of a game, absolute amazing time. But I don't think it would deserve the award of Game of the Year. But something like that could realistically be what happens. But we'll talk more about that whenever we get to my actual votes and then the outcome after the show. I'm not going to stay here too much longer because I want to get into the proper meat and bones. I don't want this video hitting an hour long because it could be quite a long one. But overall, my opinion on the Game Awards show by Jeff Keighley is it's just filled with controversy. And let's face it, the only reason any of us watch it is we want to see what gets announced for 2025 and beyond. We want to see what hasn't been shown at the PlayStation State of Plays, the PlayStation Showcases, the Xbox Showcases, and all those other game shows that happen throughout the year. Even if you don't agree with what happens with the votes, no one can deny that every single year Jeff Keighley manages to line up banger after banger after banger of announcements, reveals, and teasers for fantastic new games coming in the coming years. So let's just get to the meat and bones. Join me in a few minutes where we will be getting back to my votes, where you'll see it live, what I think. And I will state this now, a lot of the games that will be in the Game of the Year awards this year, I have not played. It's been a very shallow year of gaming for me this year. I've played a lot of games in my backlog, a couple of like indie games. I've just really spent a lot of time focused on particular games and just particular genres. But overall, I haven't played a lot of new games, much to my dismay. And really, that's my own fault. So you'll probably be always sitting there thinking, how can I sit and vote for what is going to happen in the Game of the Year awards? What deserves to win, what deserves not to win? I'm going to be going with my gut and my heart and what I think I would enjoy the most out of all those games. I'm also going to use the opinion of some very trusted friends who have played these games, people who I know aren't partial to the console wars or fanboying, who are genuine gamers that give honest opinions. But also I'm going to use my history with these developers, people like Atlas and things like that, who I've played their games in the past. I'm just going to go based off of my opinions there. Does this make me the be-all end-all? Absolutely not. And I would encourage you, if you do disagree, to let me know what you thought would have belonged in each of the votes, even though the award show will be over by this time that you're seeing this video. And honestly, everyone knows the results. But you can still let me know what you thought belonged there in the comment section below. Now then, let's get to the games and the votes. Right, and here we are, guys. We are logged in, as you can see, into my Crimson Purgatory account on the Game Awards website on the nominee section. It is the 11th today, so yeah, I've left this to like lastminute.com considering this is happening tomorrow. But you know what, let's just get stuck straight in. We're going to view all the categories. As you can see, there are quite a few. Now, as I said originally, some of this is going to be completely irrelevant to me and some I'm not going to care about, to be perfectly honest. But I'll still cast a vote just for the sake of putting in the vote and for the sake of the purposes of this video. First of all, we'll go into the player's voice one, because this is an important vote, even if people like to disregard it at times. Player's voice, as you can see, obviously means what is our favorite game of the year, and it is 100% based on the fan opinion. So, we have Black Myth Wukong, Genshin Impact, Elden Ring, Wuthering Waves, and Zenless Zone Zero. Now, I haven't played any of these games yet, as much as it is a sin that I haven't played Elden Ring yet, but I'm going to just give my vote to the game that I think out of these I will enjoy the most. And that vote is going to go to Black Myth Wukong. It is something new, something different, and honestly, I don't like Genshin Impact, and I don't really know too much about the other games, so Black Myth Wukong is what I will be giving my vote to for the Player Choice Awards. Now, let's get stuck into the actual game votes. So, first of all, we've got the best esports team. So, I don't know a lot about esports, so I'm just going to go with some of you know, I play League of Legends with Platinum Bro and Vault Boy Steve. So the team I know out of these ones is T1. So I'm going to go with T1 for this vote. And we'll move on to the next one. Best esports athlete. This is an easy choice for me. I'm going to go for Faker. Well known in the League of Legends side of things. So I'm just going to get that out of the road nice and quick. We are moving backwards because I want to leave the game of the year to the last one. Best esports game. Again, I feel like this is just defaulted to League of Legends because out of these, this is the only one I play out of all of them. I have played Valorant, but I don't really like shooters and things like that too much, so I'm just going to go with League of Legends. Just being honest with myself, you know, have to go with what is correct and what I truly believe in here. Content Creator of the Year. I do not know any of these people. Queso, Elogion, Techno Gamers, Typical Gamer, Usada Picora. I'm not a big fan of VTubing, so I will definitely not be picking this last one. I'm just going to random blind pick, and I'm going to go with Typical Gamer. Because you know what? The name just sounds like it would be something I relate to. Most anticipated game. So we've got Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotai, GTA 6, Metroid Prime 4, and Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, people know I'm a big Capcom fan, so you'd probably be thinking that I'm going to go for Monster Hunter Wilds. I haven't played Death Stranding as of yet as well. Everyone that knows I love and worship the games made by Hideo Kojima. But I have to be honest, I really don't care about GTA 6. Ghost of Yotai is what I'm looking forward to the most. I absolutely love Ghost of Tsushima, and I probably will do a video on it in the future on the channel. So yeah, Ghost of Yotai, hands down, is getting that vote for me. Best adaptation. So obviously this is for recognizing the creative work that faithfully and accurately adapts a video game into another medium. So we've got Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, Like a Dragon Yakuza, and Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft. I have not watched Arcane yet. I'm sure a lot of people are thinking I'm just going to default to there because of the League of Legends stuff. I do like the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, so Knuckles is one that I probably would very much enjoy. I haven't watched the Yakuza one because I'm avoiding spoilers for obviously the game series, which would absolutely ruin it for me. And I haven't watched Tomb Raider yet. I don't know. I just haven't. It doesn't help that Netflix has something to do with it. A lot of Netflix stuff either dies early in its lifespan or just ends up being something I don't enjoy. I have watched Fallout and I enjoyed it very much, so I'm going to go for Fallout for my vote. So we're 6 out of 29. Let's keep blasting through. Best multiplayer. So we've got Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. The vote is easy for me here. Helldivers 2, which I played with the boys from the Platinum podcast. Well, minus Jolly Boy, of course. He did not play with us. But I did play this with Platinum Bro and Vault Boy Steve and some of my other friends. Absolutely loved it the entire time going for the Platinum. So I have to go with this. It was a very well done game. And as someone who absolutely loves the Starship Troopers franchise, it is exactly what I needed. Best sports and racing. If you know anything about me, you know I absolutely detest both of these genres. So I will be going with what my friends have told me on this one. Based off of the opinions. I'm not a big fan of racing, so F1 24 goes away from me. I hate FIFA, so I'm just going past that. NBA games, I did like playing them, but I don't like that the online just gets shut off so early. It's always put me off of playing them anymore because it was a heavily skill-based game and it takes a wee while to get good at the game. Top Spin is alright. I did used to really enjoy the WWE games back in the day. This is going quite a few years back, so I will give my vote to WWE for this rating. Best simulating and strategy game. Simulation, not simulating. Simulation game or strategy game. We've got the Age of Mythology Retold, Frostpunk 2, Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess, Manor Lords, and Unicorn Overlord. I have not played any of these, however, I see the magic word Atlas here. Everyone here knows I absolutely love Atlas, but Capcom is here too. So honestly, I feel like I'd be torn between both of these games as to which I would enjoy the most. However, I am going to say, based off of the fact that I have no issues with any of the Atlas properties that I've played so far, I'm going to vote Unicorn Overlord. I've heard very good things about it, and I'm anticipating playing it at some stage myself. So that's going to get my vote. 20 more to go. Best family game. For the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform. Now, this is where the fanboyism gets tested in everybody. So we've got Astro Bot, Princess Peach Showtime, Super Mario Party Jamboree, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and The Plucky Squire. Now, obviously, the PlayStation player in my heart is telling me to go with Astro Bot because I absolutely loved it, but the wording is there, irrespective of genre or platform. So I cannot just vote with what I think as a PlayStation player. Honestly, I know children and family of all ages have always liked the Mario games. So in a surprising twist, I'm going to give this vote to Super Mario Party Jamboree because Astro Bot would only be applicable if your family indeed plays PlayStation. So it really does require a platform specificness to be in there. So I don't think it's the better game. I honestly think Astro Bot is likely the better game. But in terms of what we're looking at here, for the best family game, Super Mario has always been a good shout. Even though I didn't particularly enjoy them myself, I know it's always been loved by families everywhere. So I'm going to give my vote to Super Mario. And I'm sure that all my friends in the PlayStation community are screaming and shouting while they're watching this video right now. And I'm probably going to get in trouble with quite a few of them. Best fighting game. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics, Multiverses, and Tekken 8. There is no competition for me here. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero will be getting my vote. I am a massive Dragon Ball fan. I've always loved the Dragon Ball games, and the Sparking Zero is a nice return to the Tenkaichi framework and the what ifs and things like that. It's just a nice change, a nice return to some nostalgia for us gamers of the old days, and it's nice to be able to finally let this generation's worth of gamers be able to play the same kind of thing that we used to with the Dragon Ball games. Something different from your Xenoverses and your Kakarots. But if I wasn't going to vote for this, I think my vote would be going to Tekken 8. Even though I don't play the Tekken franchise, I do acknowledge that Tekken is the most user-friendly, popular fighting game genre and series out there, and it's easy for anyone to pick up. So I would be voting for Tekken if Dragon Ball was not here, but my vote will be going to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Best RPG. Here we go. My absolute favorite genre, and this is going to be an interesting one for me. So, we have got Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and Metaphor ReFantasio. I absolutely loved Dragon's Dogma 1. I have not played the second one yet, but I absolutely loved that game. I haven't played Elden Ring yet, and as a premise, I'm trying to avoid going for the DLCs unless absolutely necessary. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I haven't got around to playing them yet. Unfortunately, as much as I'm probably going to get shouted for this, I have not completed a Final Fantasy game to date yet. I can hear the gasps already, I can hear the pitchforks, I can hear the torches, and I'm sure my door is going to get broken down by angry gamers and RPG lovers all over the world any minute now. But yes, much to my shame, I have not completed the Final Fantasy VII game yet. I do want to change that, and I do want to actually get invested into the franchise a little bit. But I'm sure I will absolutely love this game. But as a premise, I want to play the original and finish it first before playing the remake. Yakuza, I'm so far behind the franchise that Like a Dragon, Lord knows when I'm going to get to play that. And Metaphor ReFantazio. As I said, I absolutely love Atlas and their games. I love the Persona franchise. I haven't played the Shin Megami Tensei games yet, but obviously knowing that it is the brother-sister franchise to Persona and is where it was originally birthed from, I know I love it as well. So for me, it's between Dragon's Dogma 2 and Metaphor ReFantazio. I'm gonna give it to Metaphor ReFantazio. I have played a tiny little bit of the game. I've seen the cutscenes and everything, and it's just so nice to see Atlas going down a new IP and potentially creating a brand new IP to just contest with the likes of its Persona and the Shin Megami Tensei and things like that. So I'm gonna give my vote to Metaphor ReFantazio, with Dragon's Dogma 2 being a very close second, because I do think that Capcom really did innovate the RPG big boss franchise when they did Dragon's Dogma. I remember everyone always going on about how they loved seeing people being able to scale the bosses, climb them, and like attack them in specific points. It really was a big fundamental change to the formula that Capcom brought to the table. So I do believe that there should be respect on that. That's why I'm saying that Dragon's Dogma 2 is a very close second. But I will be giving this to Metaphor. Best Action Adventure Game: Astrobot, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2 Remake, Star Wars Outlaws, and The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. I'm going to have to give this one to... This is a difficult one for me to choose, but I'm going to have to say I'm going with Silent Hill 2 Remake. I just think that out of all of them, this is the one I will enjoy the most. I've heard great things about it. I've seen great, like obviously it looks like a great game. It looks like they've really done a great job, Blooper Team. So I do feel like at the end of the day, when I play through all these games, this will be the one that I would go for. As I mentioned earlier on, a lot of these games I will not have played, so it feels a little bit wrong doing these votes, but I'm going with my heart and my gut as to what I do believe my actual answer would be. Best Action Game: Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. Now, this is very interesting for me. So obviously the only one I've played here is Helldivers 2. So naturally, that should be where my vote goes. So for the best game in action genre focused primarily on combat, it is a tough one for me. I haven't played the Warhammer franchise yet, but I've heard great things about it from the likes of Steve. So I'm sure that at some point we'll end up playing this game down the line. I don't like Call of Duty, so this gets like last. This is always last on the list for me. Sorry to you COD fans out there. I stopped liking it back after World at War days, when the campaign sort of just got ignored and everyone just cared about online and zombies. Yeah, you can repaint it all you want. It won't bring me back to liking the games or the series. So my vote is between Black Myth Wukong, Helldivers 2, and Stellar Blade. I'm going to give my vote to Helldivers 2. I've seen a lot of Stellar Blade, and it's a game I'm hoping to get at Christmas time and finally get down to sit down and play it. But as much as I do enjoy the hack and slashness, and who doesn't like looking at a lovely female protagonist on screen, as you can see there. But I'm going to have to go with Helldivers 2. I had so much fun playing with the boys. And honestly, I would happily go back and do it all over again. Best VR AR experience. Arizona Sunshine Remake. Asgard's Wrath 2. Batman Arkham Shadow. Metal Hellsinger VR. And Metro Awakening. Obviously, I have not played any of these yet, but from what I've seen, the Metro VR AR experience looks absolutely phenomenal. So between this and Batman, I'm gonna go with Metro. Gonna try speed this up a little bit because I'm conscious I'm taking a little bit more time on these votes than I probably should be. So best mobile game. So we'll quickly go over this. AFK Journey, Balatro, Pokemon Trading Card Game, Wuthering Raves, and Zenless Zone Zero. I will give this to Balatro because honestly, everything I've heard about the game has been phenomenal from my friends. I know people are probably expecting me to pick Pokemon, but I was never big into the trading card game side of things. Best debut indie game. We've got Animal Well, Balatro, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, and this Plunky Squire. I'm going to go with Pacific Drive. Haven't played it yet, but honestly, everything about this game attracted me to it. And I can't wait to actually sit down and give it a try. So I do believe, for me, that is the winner there. Best independent game. Animal Well, Balatro, Lorelei, and the Laser Eyes, Neva, and UFO 50. I'm gonna give this one to Balatro. Same reasons as before. Obviously, I've heard a lot of good things about it. I like my card games. I just do think I would enjoy this. And even today, people are still like going on about it so much. Best community support. Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky. I am very torn on this between Baldur's Gate 3 and Helldivers 2. Honestly, I love Baldur's Gate 3. I absolutely love it, and I love Larian Studios and everything that they've done for it. But Helldivers 2, like their community and their developers were so good at coming back and answering people's questions, bringing out patches and things like that to fix bugs, things that made the game really difficult to play, made it annoying to play, and through the entire time when there was issues about the game being made available for people, they were there every step of the way on Discord for people. I watched that from being in the Discord server, so honestly I have to give this to Helldivers 2, but Baldur's Gate 3 is so close to taking over on that. So close. Best ongoing game. Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2. Out of all of these, the only one I've played is obviously going to be Helldivers 2. Diablo is a great game. I love the franchise. I have not played that one. However, I'm going to go with Helldivers 2. Specifically because I've played it and the memories I have with the game. Down to our final 9. Games for Impact. Closer the Distance, Indica, Neva, Life is Strange, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and Tales of Kenzura Zao. I'm gonna go with Senua's Saga. I have not played this particular one, and I haven't had a chance to complete the first one myself, but I do know a lot about it. I do know that it's very impactful. There's a lot of meaning behind it, and a lot of people like sit and like get like emotional feels from it. I do know the same thing can be said for Life is Strange, but honestly, I'm gonna go with Senua's Saga for this one because I do know that that was the entire premise of the game, to send an impactful message, at least with the first game. Hopefully the second one is the same, but obviously we'll find out if I ever get a chance to play it. Innovation and accessibility. Okay, interesting. So we've got Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Diablo 4, Dragon Age the Veilguard, Prince of Persia, and Star Wars Outlaws. Now I've heard so much controversy around my beloved Dragon Age, and it has me very worried about when I finally sit down and play it. But I have heard that the amount of accessibility options in the game is very high. So despite the controversies, despite the fact that there is a genuine chance I may not enjoy the game, despite loving the franchise so much, the award is for accessibility. I will be giving this to Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Best performance. So we've got Brianna White from Final Fantasy VII. We've got Hannah Tale from Life is Strange. We've got Humberly. I know I'm not gonna butcher these names anymore. Star Wars Outlaws, Silent Hill 2, and Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. I've heard amazing things about the people obviously involved with Silent Hill 2. I do not know, honestly. Game Awards, pro tip for the future, maybe put down who they played as, like the character, because I can't be bothered searching these up. I'm just going off of the game titles, so I'm just gonna go with Silent Hill 2, but seriously, put down who they played as. Like, it really does help with people who maybe don't have that knowledge. Best audio design. Astrobot, Call of Duty, Final Fantasy, Senua's Saga, Silent Hill 2. We are going to be going with Astrobot. The music, the audio in Astrobot was absolutely amazing for the free one, and I can't wait to sit down and play actual Astrobot. I just know without a shadow of a doubt. Especially I've heard one or two of them from friends playing off Spotify and things like that. Honestly, brilliant. It's just hands down, it gets my vote. Silent Hill 2 is probably a very close second. And Senua's, like, honestly, it's all very close. I feel like this is the same thing. Maybe I should have read it a bit more. Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII, Metaphor, Silent Hill 2, and Stellar Blade. The music in Atlas games is always second to none. I'm going with Metaphor. There is no, I don't even need to think about it. From my history of playing their games, they have always had amazing music that I've always loved, so it just gets the award for me. Best art direction, Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Metaphor, Fantasio, and Neva for outstanding creative or technical achievement in the artistic design and animation. So the animation in Persona games is always amazing, and it's been getting better even with the remakes. And honestly, Metaphor, from the little I've played of it, and just overall, just looks absolutely gorgeous. So I think I will be going with this. Neva is really good. Like, it looks like a beautiful game. But if I remember rightly, this is the same people that brought us Gris. I did not like or enjoy that game. And yeah, maybe that is like impacting my vote a little bit here, but I'm gonna be giving it to Metaphor. We are down to the last few. Best narrative. For outstanding storytelling. Yeah, you're gonna see a little trend here. As much as I would actually consider giving this to Silent Hill 2, you're retelling a game that's already been out. So unless you've changed the story dramatically, I can't give it here. And that same premise goes with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So I'm gonna be going with Metaphor ReFantasio. Especially because Senua's Sacrifice, from all the trailers and stuff like that came out from Xbox and Microsoft, I was told that like 85% of the game, if not more, was shown through those trailers. There was very little of the game people knew about whenever they finally got it. So that definitely impacts the vote for me, at least. Best game direction. I'm going to go again, like it's our usual suspects here. I'm going to go with Metaphor. I did mention earlier on about the fact that they're going on a brand new IP. I think that that's a very good direction for Atlas to be going in. To have other games that can help people wait between the likes of Persona releases or Shin Megami Tensei and their other IPs. I think it's a good direction for Atlas specifically. So I'm going to be giving it to Metaphor ReFantasio. And here we are at the very controversial Game of the Year award from Jeff Keighley. We have got Astrobot, we have got Balatro, we have got Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor ReFantazio. So, as much as I can acknowledge that Elden Ring was obviously a phenomenal game, a game of a generation, and I do believe that realistically, Jeff should look into having some way to incorporate DLCs, expansions, and things like that to give them sort of a nod in their direction, because I do believe that Shadow of the Erdtree does deserve to be in the Game of the Year awards, but I don't believe it belongs here in the actual Game of the Year award nomination, because the whole thing was you were talking about remakes, remasters, things like that, all being able to be nominated, and the only one that's applicable to that whole section in this is Elden Ring. You didn't put in the likes of Silent Hill 2 remake. Obviously you've got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth in there. There's been so many games that could be applicable to the new types of games that be considered that you've mentioned that haven't been considered here. So out of principle, I cannot go for this, but I do believe that this game, this expansion, with how large it is, it does belong in the Game of the Year awards, just not for this particular award. Hopefully he looks at the backlash from the community and changes things up a bit so that games like this and expansions like this can get the credit that they do deserve without bringing so much controversy to his game show. I'm not giving it to Balatro. I don't believe it deserves Game of the Year. Indie Game of the Year, maybe, but I don't believe it deserves Game of the Year, and I question why it's even here. Black Myth Wukong, I think realistically is going to lose because of its controversy around it, around the Xbox release. All the back and forth controversy there, I think that's going to have a big impact. We saw what happened with Hogwarts Legacy and how controversy snubbed it from the Game of the Year awards. So I do think that that's going to impact Black Myth Wukong. I haven't played Final Fantasy VII. I do believe it's a phenomenal game, but I don't believe it's Game of the Year. Astrobot, while I'm sure and I know it will be a phenomenally fun game, again, I don't think it should be classed as Game of the Year. So I'm gonna be giving it, as all of you probably would have guessed, to Metaphor ReFantazio. That is my vote, and yes, you can say that that's just the Atlas simp in me that's picked that. But honestly, I've given you my reasons as to what I think is going to happen with each of those games. And I do believe that they are all great games in their own right. But for me, for 2024, I believe the Game of the Year, for Jeff Keighley's show at least, from the options I was given, is Metaphor ReFantazio. So there you go. You can see I have now done all 29 of the votes. Now, we will be back shortly where we will have a little bit of a discussion, and we will make it a quick discussion because I know that this has obviously went on long enough as it is video-wise, but we'll have a discussion around what happened here in terms of the Game of the Year awards. What won, how many of them we ended up getting correct, how many we ended up getting wrong, if any correct, mind you. And maybe we'll talk about some of the trailers and things like that that get shown off, because it's always good. Like, let's say it's the only reason we all watch it. We don't watch it for these awards. Nobody actually cares about these things, but we do watch it for all those game trailers, game announcements, and new things that get always released at this showcase. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the overall votes. And if I do a yearly wrap up in January for 2024, I will tell you my personal Game of the Year, which doesn't have to be restricted to what was released in 2024. So I'll see you back shortly for the discussions about what happened on the showcase. Well, that is that. Another Game Award show is over. And lo and behold, the winner was Astrobot. Now, I'm sure I'm going to get so much hatred from PlayStation gamers for saying this, even though I'm a PlayStation gamer myself. I do feel like that was a very undeserved win, in my opinion. Astrobot is a phenomenal game. I've not played it yet myself, but going off of what Team Asobi has brought us before in the past, I can say without a shadow of a doubt that that game will be fantastic and deserves to at least be there in the nominations. But I don't think it's better than everything that it was up against. Say what you want about the Atlas simp in me, but I do think that Metaphor ReFantazio is a better game by far. The fact that it's a new IP, the fact that they're going away from their old formula, trying something new, but still keeping the magic of their games all kept into one nice bow. I just don't see why the votes went there. No, I do. That's a lie. We know why they went that way. Because our voice doesn't matter in the overall opinion, and the game reviewers and the outlets, etc., they are what matter. And when you look at the reviews over the year after Astrobot came out, it was very obvious what game was winning that show, unfortunately. But still, well done to Team Asobi, well done to Astrobot. Even if I don't think you deserve it, still looking real forward to playing and platinuming your game, hopefully in 2025. No, there's no hopefully, I will be doing it in 2025. But yes, now, I did horrendous, as you were probably seeing. I decided to change things up a bit and showed a marker on the voting screens whether I was correct or wrong, but to tally it up, I got a total of 11 votes correct. 3 of them belonging to the esports category, which was kind of obvious. So realistically, if you take that into consideration, I only got about 8 right. Which is, I guess that just shows I'm a completely different opinion from the outlets, or just different opinion from everybody in general. But hey, isn't that the beauty of gaming? We're all different. We all wear different clothes. We all have different ways of doing things. We all have different games that we enjoy to play. For instance, I've got a nice little one here behind me, Death Note. A little teaser for you guys for a future video that's coming up. Probably in 2025 at this rate, let's be honest. I've got most of the stuff done for it, but the video probably will not come out until January, unfortunately. But there's something to look forward to. But outside of everything else, I do have to give a little bit of respect to Jeff Keighley because he's learned a lot of his lessons from the previous shows. In previous years, he did not let game developers talk for nearly enough time whenever they won something, especially the likes of Baldur's Gate and stuff like that. Whenever they won their awards, they were pretty rushed off of the stage. Jeff didn't like leaving a lot of time for them to speak and to thank people for overall their love of the games and being nominated and winning an award. I'm happy to say that that's completely changed this year, and obviously it was nice to see that we didn't get any stage jumpers this year. No people like praising a rabbi or crying out for a GTA 6 and like saying we don't care about any other games. It was very nice to see that the security has obviously been tightened up and that gamers overall are respecting things a little bit more. Because while I may not like Jeff Keighley's show, this is something that puts a little bit of respect onto the developers. It means more to them than it does to us. So let's respect it and honestly let them have their moment in the spotlight, even if it's nothing official. It would be nice to see a proper award show happening, or if Jeff really wants the Game Awards to be something special, maybe see about getting it actually printed. What I mean by that is when movies or games of the past got like the Golden Globe Awards or getting Oscar nominees and stuff like that, you get that on the discs, on the boxes. There's some form of advertising, sort of like giving them a little clap and a wee pat in the back to say, yeah, you got this, you won this was yours. That doesn't happen with the Game Awards. If you want your show to mean something, Jeff, maybe do something physical for them outside of just giving out the prize, because nobody that doesn't watch your show is going to know or care that Astrobot got Game of the Year 2024 at your show, because it's not there for them to see. It's not mentioned, like, because that would be an easy patch for them to put in just to sort of like give themselves that pat on the back. But I digress. We'll move on from there. I'm not going to keep these for too much longer, but what I do want to say is I was right once again. Absolute banger show in terms of what we were shown for the upcoming years. We got to see some really old IPs finally make a return, like Turok and Onimusha. And please, Capcom, please, if you're bringing back Onimusha, give me my Dino Crisis. I don't ask for much. Just give me my dinos. I want my dinos. I want to kill the dinos. And I want to play as that babe Regina again. Just give me that, please. Give me a remake. Give me something. Just please, just give me something. But that's the Capcom lover in me. Seeing Onimusha kind of gave me a little bit of hope, but please give me my Dino Crisis. Please. But anyway, moving on from that minor lapse in judgment on video, probably not going to regret that. Yeah, definitely will regret it. Apart from that, we got to see the return of the developers and creators of It Takes Two with their new game, Split Fiction. I cannot wait to play this. I had an absolute bang of a time with It Takes Two and games of that nature with my friend Raven, and I honestly can't wait for us to sit down and experience another one of those beautiful, fun adventures that are famously done in those games, and of course getting a nice platinum trophy to go along with it. We also, on the PC side, got to see some exciting news about seeing games like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and The Last of Us Part 2 finally making its way over to PC for you gamers out there who have been dying and waiting for it. Honestly, really happy for you guys, and as a PlayStation player, it's nice to see Sony starting to take a step in the right direction. I hate exclusives. I don't think that they belong in gaming anymore. The time has gone where exclusives were important. Let us play where we want to play with who we want to play with. Just make it that simple. The one prop I can give Xbox and Microsoft is that they are starting to move nicely away from that exclusive strategy that they had all those years ago. They're starting to release more games on PlayStation, on the Nintendo platforms, and it's good to see. I really hope that Sony will start moving in that direction themselves. Just give more games to all the gamers. Let us all enjoy, and you can reap the rewards of the money that you'll get. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I'm very happy for you PC gamers out there that you're going to be able to experience the game on your platform of choice. We also got to see the return of Ciri for The Witcher 4. I cannot wait. When I saw those swords, I nearly jumped out of my seat in excitement. As you can tell over here, yeah, I forget my own layout. We've got Geralt sitting there. Honestly, if there is a collector's edition, I can get a Ciri statue to go along with my Geralt statue, you know I'm gonna be getting it. And I'll be wearing my wolf pendant proudly. I do not have it on me right now because it is somewhere else, but I'll be wearing that proudly. And honestly, if there is a collector's edition, I might be able to get that Sphinx house pendant, which go nicely together, just for the collectors. But moving away from that fanboyism, honestly, it's great to see CD Projekt Red finally coming out with some more news about the Witcher IP. I cannot wait for The Witcher 4 to come out and finally get to sit down and play it and see where Ciri's adventures have taken her after moving on from the House of the Wolf and finally being a full-fledged Witcher. The fact that she's taken the Trial of Grasses, I really, really want to know how that all worked, considering how out of date it was and how the practice was gone, but that might have only been for the House of the Wolf. Maybe the trial still existed for some of the other Witcher schools. Who knows? I can't wait to find out though. I really do wish though that we'd heard a little bit more news about the likes of The Witcher 1 remake, because obviously I really want to play that game. I tried playing it on PC, but it has not aged well at all. It's not easy to play, especially if you come back from playing The Witcher 3. I really want to play Geralt's trilogy in its entirety, and if The Witcher 1 remake does well, hopefully we will see the second game. I think it was Assassin of Kings, I think that was what it's called at least. Maybe get to see that getting a re-release or a remake as well, which would be great, because then people can finally experience the full trilogy instead of just playing The Witcher 3, which I'd say most gamers out there, that is their experience. Another thing that was announced, the thing I am most excited for out of everything, is finally a Game of Thrones RPG coming out in video game format. As you can tell by my Targaryen dragons and my Targaryen eggs, I'm a big Game of Thrones buff. I mean, the fact that I'm Irish probably gives that away, but I just love Game of Thrones in its entirety. And I've been crying and begging for years for an RPG in the Game of Thrones universe to finally be released. Yes, we had the PS3 one that I've mentioned before on the channel, and that was a great game, but I wanted more. I always said to my friends like Footboy Steve and Raven and other people, I always said I could just imagine a great RPG adventure where you're your own unique character inside of the world of Westeros, going along the adventures of the actual storyline and seeing how your presence in the game impacts things, similar to how things like Attack on Titan, Wings of Freedom did by adding in the unique character that you created yourself and how they impacted the storyline. This would be a little bit different though, because I believe they are taking an official house from the lore of Westeros and they are going to have you playing that character. It's going to be very interesting to see. And also, we get the return of so much of the movie casts. We have Jon Snow, we have Varys, we have Jaime Lannister. We have those iconic voice actors coming back and reprising their roles in video game format. And it's glorious to see. I cannot wait, and it will be a day one purchase for me. Even a collector's edition pre-order if there is one, because my lord, I can never have enough about the world of Westeros. Yes, I'm a Game of Thrones nerd. I'm sorry, but it's true. There were so many other games shown at the Game Awards, games that you'd be excited for, but honestly, the two I'm most excited for out of everything is The Witcher 4 and the Game of Thrones RPG. There's other games I will definitely play, like seeing Turok returned. There's also the Elden Ring co-op experience that will be coming out on the standalone game. It's not a sequel. Please, people, stop saying it's a sequel. It's a standalone adventure for co-op. But who knows, maybe if it does well, FromSoft will actually want to do that sequel. Especially because we don't know what the future holds between Sony and FromSoft with that rumored acquisition. Is it going to happen, or will they just have a new partnership and have Sony having more shares in the company? Who knows? Honestly, I don't care either way. I think it's a good play for Sony as a whole, and I think it's good for Kadokawa and for gamers everywhere. I know that the anime people out there are worried about Kadokawa being purchased, which is very understandable. So that would be my only linchpin on maybe not wanting Sony to acquire them, because they do love censorship. They love censorship way too much. And a lot of Kadokawa's anime, you put censorship in them, it ruins it. Things like High School DxD and things like that. But we're talking about gaming here. If they have a good partnership, we might finally get to see an Elden Ring 2. By the way, I still haven't played the first one. That's a goal for me for 2025, to finally play and platinum Elden Ring and bring you guys a video on my overall experience and what I thought. And who knows, maybe we'll finally see a Bloodborne remake. The thing that everyone really wants. Maybe not. Let's not get our hopes up too high, but you never know. It could happen. But anyway, that's my main thoughts on the overall show. What do I give it in terms of a rating? I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Because I do like the improvements that he's made in terms of his maturity and overall how he treats the showcase, how he lets people talk a lot more, how he's bringing a lot more people on stage. He keeps bringing back Kojima. I don't know why Kojima loves being on that show. It's weird, but hey, we love Hideo Kojima, even though some of his practices are questionable, like his treatment of the Metal Gear cast, but hey ho. But we love him anyway, so we love seeing him and hearing about the games he's going to bring out, even when he sometimes just shows up just to show his face. Yeah, but also, like I said, it was a banger showcase with loads of great game announcements, and that's kind of like why I'm giving it a 7. I'm not pleased at all with most of the votes. Some games, hey, they're maybe not my cup of tea, but hey, if people think that they are the ones that win, then they're the ones that win. But realistically, we know our voice isn't really heard. We are 5%, and that is all. But hey, Let me know what you guys thought of the overall showcase. Let me know what games you're looking forward to the most in 2025 and beyond. And also, just let me know if you are overall happy with the showcase. What changes you think could be made to make the overall experience better for us gamers and just for the public in general. And most importantly, once again, like I said before, wishing all of you, your family and loved ones, a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and I hope you guys will stay for me for the progression of Crimson Purgatory and the evolution of the channel in 2025 and beyond. Thank you all very much for everything you've done for me and the channel this year, for all your support, and I'll see you in the new year, my friends, where our first video of Death Note will debut. Thanks for watching.